Hello guys, welcome back again. This is Siddharth and today we are going to talk about flyweight pattern. So first of all, what is a flyweight pattern? So we are here at Refactoring Guru and if I want to explain simply, it is a structural design pattern that lets you fit more objects into available amount of RAM by sharing common parts of state between multiple objects instead of keeping all the data in each object. So like when we have hundreds and thousands of game objects in our scene, so each object is an instance and each of the object occupies same amount of data. Like if for example our game object is of 5 kb, so if you multiply that by 1000 it will be 5000 kb. So what this pattern does is we try to find out what are the data that are going to be same across the game objects and across the instances. So the that we find out what are the uh, data that is going to be same and what is the data that is going to change in each of the instances. So this constant data of an object is usually called intrinsic state and it lives within the object. And then we have another data that keeps on changing with each uh, each instance, so that is called extrinsic state. So what we do is we try to find these two data and then store it in such a way that both of them like intrinsic stays in the object and only the extrinsic data is instantiated again and again, and that is how flyweight pattern works. So it, like for example, if earlier we were having a data for 4 kb per object, it will reduce to like 2. Like if for example out of 4 kb there are 4 variables and we change them, 2 of them into intrinsic, so we'll keep save 2 kb for example, and then if we multiply that by 1000 we'll save a lot of memory. So that is what flyweight pattern is. So I'll explain what I did first. So first of all, when we normally want to instantiate, we just instantiate flyweight and set it position and identity quaterny and that's it. No, but then it is not more more efficient and it takes a lot of memory, like each object is instantiated. So what I did was I created a first of all I created a scriptable object, and this is going to be our intrinsic data. So this will hold our what is the type of prefab, like we have two types, fire and ice. So will hold that, and then prefab will also remain same because it will be always same. And then we have despawn delay, we have float speed 10f, so these things are going to remain same in all the instances. So that is why we added them to scriptable object. And then we have create method that will simply create and return flyweight, that's it. So then on enable we are, so also we are, this will be our setting, and then we want to destroy it after some period of time. The period is 5f8, so that is defined. So we'll, as soon as the object is enabled, we want to destroy it in 5 seconds. So this is there, and then now we make changes in the input to, so earlier we were just instantiating, now we'll just call through flyweight. We, instead of gamejot, we add a flyweight setting and then we'll call that and create. So this way we are only using, so these 4 parameters will remain same and other variables will keep changing. So this will save a lot of memory for us. So this is how we make it optimize using flyweight pattern, but we can optimize it more. How? So we can use object pooling and factory for this flyweight, and then, so as you saw, we were just destroying the game object after 5 seconds. So rather than destroying, we can just disable it like we earlier discussed about object pool, right? So we can just create an object pool like this. If you want to see more details about object pool, you can go back to the other video that I have in my channel. So we just created a object pool for both the enum types, and then we just instantiated it. That's it. So this is how simple it is to. And now I'll show you examples like by video. I'll show you how all the types, like first I will show you how I implemented normal spawning, then I'll show you how I integrated flyweight, and then I'll show you how I integrated flyweight factory and object pool to optimize it more. So just give me some second. So this is now a project without any pattern or anything. It's a simple spawner, like when you press 1, uh, this prefab called fireball will be instantiated. The script is very simple. If one keypad is pressed, instantiate flyweight. As of now it is flyweight, but it is not actually flyweight. It's just a list of game object, and then we are instantiating it, and that's all. So if we play it and we press 1, this is how it is. And as of now there is no pattern, nothing, no optimization is there. And now we'll try to optimize this with flyweight pattern. So we have finally implemented flyweight pattern into our fireball. So in simple words, in flyweight what we do is, the data of instantiated prefab that are not going to change, on each instance, we call them intrinsic values. So we don't, the value that we don't change, so the value that don't change on on each instance, we try to keep them on a base class, and whatever the value that keep on changing, we change it on each instance, so that way we save a lot of memory. So here whatever the data that are going to remain same are inside a scriptable object, that is flyweight setting, that I'll show you now. But for as of now, this is our flyweight object. So as soon as it gets created, we want it to move rightwards of the screen, and we have settings, we have speed on the setting scriptable object, so we'll use that. And we also want it to get destroyed after 5 seconds. That this 5 second is also inside our, we are calling it on enable, and this bundle is also coming from the same setting. So all these information settings, speed and all are inside our intrinsic data, intrinsic state, that is our scriptable object. And also we have used scriptable object especially because it will save a lot of memory also. So this way, but if you see, as of now, since we are spawning very few amounts of prefabs, it will be very minor difference, but when our project gets bigger and bigger, it will be of great value. So this is our all intrinsic setting, this will not change. So I'll show you what are the settings in scriptable object. So this is we have flyweight type. So I'll show you flyweight type first. There are only two types of fireball, that is fire and ice, that is there. And then what is the prefab for that we have here, and then we have despawn delay, and then we have float speed. So this is speed, and this despawn delay is being used in flyweight, and this will remain same for all the flyweights that get generated. And then we have a create method where we are just instantiating and setting it false, and then the name and all this, and we return that, and then we return Flyweight. So this is what we have as of now. So what we do is, when we go into our, so in the beginning you can see this is set active as false, only it gets active only when we create it. So we when we press one in the keypad, so we'll generate this, and we'll set the position and rotation and set, and it will, and we will set it as true active state. And we have a list that we are getting Flyweights. So this is what we have as of now, and we are using this list. We can add as many as the kind of fireballs or like whatever we want into this list, and according to key press we are creating and setting it location and setting it true. Although this is not very good way of generating our prefabs or instantiating our prefab, but still this is not important. The Flyweight is important. So when we play it, so first of all I'll show you the what is there inside. So first we created two scriptable object with ice and its prefab, and both have their own values and all. And when we press 1 we get fireball, when we press 2 we get ice cube. That is it, and after 5 seconds it gets delayed. So this is what a Flyweight is. In Flyweight, in what we do is, we the value that don't change on each instance, we keep them into different class, and we just reference it. So, rather than creating a new instance and getting those values all the time, we just point value to that location. Like for us here in scriptable object, we are pointing all this data, and this is just getting pointed, not getting spawned all the time. So this has optimized our project quite enough, but if we want to optimize more, we can create a object pool, and we can also create a factory for this kind of instantiation. So I'll be doing that next. I'll show you in a bit. So as I said, to optimize this more, I wanted to create an object pool, and this is how I created it. So we created a new class called Flyweight Factory, and then we filled in different details like collection check, default capacity is equal to 10, max pool size is equal to 100, and then we created an we created an object pool. And then for object pool, here we created an object pool, and then we defined all these settings, max pool size and all, and this we are creating in setting file. So on get set active true, so whenever we get the object from the pool, we set it active, and when we release it, we set it false, and when we want to destroy, we just destroy the game object. And we are adding the pools, and we have created pool for both type and both type, like we have created for ice also and fire also. So we are adding it to the game, we are trying to get it from dictionary. So this is done, and then we made some changes in Flyweight. So earlier it was destroy, so now rather than destroying it, we are just returning it to pool using our factory, and same for instantiating. So earlier it was just instantiating from this list, now we are just calling our Flyweight factory and we are spawning this. So this is how we implemented our Flyweight object pool. So now if you play, press 1, press 2, and then we see after few moment this is getting disabled, and then when we press again, can see the new objects are not created, rather we are just enabling the new ones. That's it. So this is how we implemented. First we created Flyweight. No, sorry. First we created normal instantiation. Then we tried to get it through Flyweight, and then we created object pool using scriptable object and all. And this is how we optimized our game. So as I told you, Flyweight is pattern is mostly used for optimizing memory uses, so that our games use less resources while playing and all. So this is how we implemented our Flyweight and optimize it even more. So thank you.